I just uploaded that video I was working on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you did say it'd take you about an hour.
Yeah, I had to. Matter of fact, I'm making some little minor changes on it right now.
So you can take it down and re-upload it?
No, I'll just change the cover of it.
Oh, okay.
Because I put one of my pictures on it, but that's not gonna get the attention that it needs. Because the name of the video it says no matter of the circumstances, stay human. And so
did you do a video like that already?
Well, most I put stay human at the end of all of my videos.
Yeah.
But this one deals with that part in man, I always forget the name of this movie. It's got Chris Tucker in them in it when they was trying to rob that
Dead Presidents? Yeah, that was a good movie.
Dead Presidents, and it's got that part on there where the hustler had beat him down and put that gun in his mouth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Lorenz Tay, I remember.
Yeah, and he said, don't you ever bite the hand that feeds you. And to me, I found that part very interesting. Because the choice that he made to go to the service, even though he thought he was doing the right thing, turned out to be not beneficial for either him.
Yeah, that's what made him a monster.
Yeah, for either him or her or their daughter. However, because of the circumstances, this man who was pretty much pushed out of the economic system because he had made a few mistakes and they wouldn't let him get a job, so he ended up being a hustler. See, this dude wasn't no drug dealer. He wasn't a pimp. He was a hustler. That's the distinction. And see, hustlers are much dangerous than drug dealers and pimps. A lot of people don't understand that. You don't really see too many hustlers out anymore. He wasn't no drug dealer. He wasn't no pimp. He was a hustler. He was somebody who gets certain things for people, in different areas in life, and he makes money. He's into trade. You might as well say he's a hustler. A man like this gets materials. I mean, it could be liquor. And sometimes it could be drugs, but they are not the ones that's selling the drugs. They are the ones that people are paying so that he can tell them exactly where to get their drugs.
Yeah, facilitator.
Yeah, that's what a hustler is. And see, and those people, when they those people are the ones that's really walking around with a whole lot of money. So basically, what they are, you must say, they are you might as well say illegal entrepreneurs. And these people are serious about their money because their money doesn't come from a consistent, reliable source. They have to go out and hustle up opportunity in order to accumulate financial gain.
Right.
So when they borrow out money and stuff like that, they become, what you call those, loan sharks. Up on top of that, they loan money out, charge you a percentage, and you pay them back. And see, and these type of men, they'll kill you over their money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, another person, the guy who was in life, the one who was sitting there playing the cards, the one who had manipulated Eddie Murphy's character out of his father's watch. He was a hustler. He wasn't a drug dealer. He wasn't a pimp. He was a hustler. They go around, they gamble, they shoot dice, they go into card playing, joints and stuff. I mean, a hustler is pretty much everywhere. And the reason why a lot of hustlers never get caught is because they're not doing anything outwardly illegal or something that is considered stands out a whole lot as far as something that keeps them stationary in an illegal activity, you might as well say, like pimping and selling drugs and stuff like that. They're all over the place. So it's kind of hard to catch a hustler. And then sometimes when the police do catch a hustler, it's really hard to arrest a hustler because most of the products that he have are either let go from department stores and stuff like that. And he finds certain things. He goes to warehouses and he gets certain things out of people at warehouses. So everything has a serial number on it. And so if he does get caught, they may lock him up for like a couple of days, until they run the serial numbers, and then they'll pull him in the police. Hey, where did you get this stuff from? He said, oh, well, I bought it off this person. They give them a fake name and stuff like that. And then they say, well, we can't keep you because you bought this off somebody, so it was actually your loss. We're going to have to keep this, these materials, and usually they just keep them for themselves, and they just let them go. And that's pretty much the only loss that a hustler has to have. But they can keep the products, but they can't keep the hustler's money. So the reason why I know so much about this is because, as you know, I grew up around a lot of pimps and hustlers and stuff like that. So I know.
Weren't some of your uncles hustlers?
No, but they knew a lot of hustlers. See, I knew this hustler. His name was Rudell Jackson, and he went by the hustler name Have It All.
Have It All?
Yeah.
Dang, that's a hustler name for real. What's the story behind that name?
Because anything you wanted, he's got it. So he went under the nickname Have It All because he has it all. It's like you go to Rudell and you say, Rudell, I need an alternator for my car. Rudell said, when do you need it? What type of car do you have? He'll say, well, I got this Volkswagen or whatever the case may be. He said, well, okay, I'll be back in like 2 hours. He'll either go to a chop shop, and it's like if your alternator cost him like $20, he'll probably charge you for like $100 for your alternator. And people will pay that, even though he ain't never going to tell you what he paid for it. But the alternator and the labor in which comes with putting an alternator on your car is much more than just $100. So you're actually getting a good deal. You just don't know how much of a good deal it is for him because he's not telling you that he only paid $20.
Yeah, they call that arbitrage.
Yeah, so that's what a hustler is. That's like this guy, and this one, he said, you need some help, I'll front you some money, because hustlers always got money. Now what I was pointing out, even though this man is a necessary evil, and even though the lifestyle that he's into is considered immoral, he was forced into that lifestyle. Now, even though his lifestyle is considered immoral to a whole lot of people, he did take care of this man's family.
Yeah.
Which was a very moral thing for him to do. Now, the first time that they met one another, he was pretty much angry at him because he's not the type of man, he ain't going to fight for the country because the country abandoned him, you might as well say, and it pushed him into a lifestyle to where he has to hustle for everything. So when he looks at him like, you stupid. What you fight for this country for? You got this woman, and I had to take care of your woman and your daughter while you over there, fighting for this country. But see, he also understood that this dude, he only did what he did because he's trying to take care of his family. So he thought that he was doing the right thing, and he just come to find out that it wasn't. And so he had compassion for the dude. And so that's why he said, You here now, and I'm gone, and just consider me a friend of the family. So I'm hoping that YouTube let me keep this up, because to me that was a very deep part, because when you really look at this, that dude had a lot of compassion, because he, regardless of his lifestyle, he still took care of somebody's woman and their child. Yeah, he was sleeping with her. I mean, look at her. Wouldn't you sleep with her?
Right.
I'd do the same thing. He did say, you here and I'm gone. Now, obviously, she had called him and said, look, I need some money over here, because we're struggling. Okay, out of his care for her, he came over and gave him some money. He didn't sleep with her. He said, hey, man, I just came by here and, just laid some money on him. Homeboy is jealous. He's frustrated. He's angry. He's been over there in Vietnam killing folks. And so he's kind of disturbed on the inside, and he's frustrated. He understands all of this. But all at the same time, there's a storm going on in him too. That's why I put the storm sound behind it. Because there's a storm going on in this brother too, because neither one of them like the way they're living. And you don't know what's sitting up in this dude, so you can't be talking to folks all crazy. This is the hustler you're talking to.
Right.
You don't know what this dude is going to do to you. You just don't know. And he's lucky he let him live. He's like, you know what, I ain't going to kill you over no woman. He said, but don't you ever bite the hand that feeds you. Yeah, that was a deep part to me. I'm like, that's deep.
When was the last time you watched the movie?
It just came to me today, but it's been a long time since I watched it. It's just that This scene came to me yesterday, and while I was at work, my mind was going over it. I said, you know what, I'm gonna make a video about that. Because sometimes when you use footage from movies, sometimes YouTube be tripping, so. But there's another movie that I use, that Denzel movie, the one that You and I Can't Stand.
Oh yeah.
I used that one when he was all up in his son's face, but YouTube didn't too much care if I used that one. So. And by this being a black film, they most likely won't too much care.
Yeah, I know what you mean when you say that.
Mm-hmm.
And they use a lot of time when it comes to black films or black TV shows, they don't really police them. I guess they look at it as being inferior or rinky dink.
Oh, neither that, or they look at it like that nigga's lost. As long as they ain't losing nothing behind it, they don't care.
Nope.
Yeah, but I read those articles that you sent me, and this dude was 49.
Yep, I know. I'm glad that we ain't the only people who understand forgiveness in a whole different light than you don't really hear people talk about, because most people have a Christian understanding of forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things and a lot of people can't be forgiven. Kind of like how you always say that there can't be no forgiveness without resolve. That's true. That's something that people don't really understand.
Nope. And that's why people like my mother don't understand when you have a father like mine who was a narcissist, who is right to his own understanding regardless of what he says and does to people.
Right.
You will never get an apology out of that person, because you will never get an understanding, because this person refuses to reason with you to try to understand your pain, and he's not even going to tell you that you didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
When you ask them, what did I do? See, they know that you didn't do anything wrong, but due to the fact that they're narcissists, they'll never admit that you didn't do anything wrong. So by them never admitting that you did anything wrong, that makes them narcissists, because they figure, I'll just do whatever I want to do because I'm God.
Yup.
And you know
what they say go.
Yeah, and you know the God in the Bible got that same mentality.
Yeah, that abusive mentality. Matter of fact, my papa, it was always him. It was always what I say go, and I'm the head and all that crap. You know, he still, even though he don't say that really necessarily now, he still got that mentality.
Yeah.
So it's like somebody like that. I consider people like that to be damn.
They are. And
he would always say, I ain't gonna change, and he would always remind me of that crowd. I used to hate that.
And you know that's why I always tell people that, you know, how to, you know, they said the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh. You know, and then you look at the word take. You're taking something from someone, which means you're taking something from them without their consent. You're just going to take it. I'm the one that gave it to you, so I can take it. Well, then you didn't really give me anything.
Right.
If you can take it, and then they say, well, I'm God, everything belongs to me. Well, then don't give me nothing then. You know, because doesn't one of your commandments says, thou shalt not steal? Isn't taking something from someone without their consent, isn't that stealing?
Yeah, that's theft.
Well, then you're a hypocrite then. So why should I listen to anything you have to say? You can't command me to do anything. Where did these commandments come from? From your own flaws? Obviously.
Seems like it to me, dude.
Obviously, thou shalt not kill. Hey, what did you do with the great flood? You've been killing everybody in the Bible left and right. Who has Satan killed? Satan
hardly
killed
anybody.
Nobody.
When I remember that one time I was reading an article, they did a tally of how many people Satan killed. It was a tiny amount compared to God.
Thou shalt not covet anything that is thy neighbor. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Okay, so Mary goes to sleep, and you impregnate Mary while she sleeps without her consent, and she wakes up pregnant by you. And this is Joseph's woman. This is Joseph's wife, or soon to be wife. And so you sleep with this man's woman. You impregnate this woman without her consent while she's sleeping. She just wakes up and she's pregnant. She didn't say, I'm going to go to sleep because I prayed to the Lord and we had agreed I'm going to give myself to him and he could just come in here and just do whatever he wants while I sleep, and I'm going to wake up the next morning. Where's this written? It's not written any place. But this woman wakes up and she's pregnant by the Spirit. Really? Why does your book say he was the seed of David, which is Joseph, and they use David because Joseph was considered a Jew. He was the seed of David according to the flesh, but he declared himself the Son of God according to the Spirit of holiness. Well, that right there wipes out the virgin birth, because it said he was the seed, sperm cell of the Jewish community by way of Joseph according to the flesh. So they did sleep together before they were married. How come Mary wasn't stoned to death? And see, and this is the reason why they had to run, because if she would have gotten caught pregnant before they was married, then she would have got stoned to death. You know, all of this stuff is just stupid to me.
Right.
You know, and you know, when I was reading this forgiveness thing, I'm like, okay, we have to forgive. Okay, but when you allow something bad to happen to us, and we asked you for forgiveness, you're above forgiveness, so you don't have to forgive nobody. You don't have to say, ask us for forgiveness, but we have to ask each other for forgiveness. When a whole lot of the stuff that's going on down here between the human family on this planet is only transpiring because you allow it. Because you're the one that's in control of all these things.
Yeah, you're right.
And then everything that has happened to me, including what happened to me in Las Vegas and out here, all of that was allowed to happen. Now, this was allowed to happen against my intentions, because I came out here even when I was in Las Vegas. When I was in Las Vegas and when I came out here, I had intentions on getting married and building a family, and it all blew up in my face because this thing created good and evil, and I, the Lord, created all these things. So you mean to tell me all the evil that was done against me, I have to blame Tammy, I have to blame Salam? They didn't create this evil. You did this. You, the Lord, created this evil that's sitting up in these women. So why should I blame them? They didn't create this evil, even though they executed it, because you put this evil in them.
Yeah.
They just executed it when I didn't do anything to provoke it. So why did this happen? No answer. Okay, this is the reason why I have this animosity towards you, because you're not talking to me. So how can I forgive you for what you done to me? But the scriptures never talk about us demanding that, like, God, I'm angry at you. You're going to have to do this so that I can forgive you. It's always, you have to forgive each other. What, for the evil you put in everybody? You are the one that created this evil. But this goes back. The reason why I went through all that, Josh, is because some people, you have to look directly at them. Because, see, them, your dad and my dad, as far as they're concerned, they're this God that created good and evil.
Yeah, they act like it.
and so, no matter what they say or do, it's right.
Yeah. And I've seen, like, my pops or whatever, many times, whatever, when he's wrong, he'll move the goalpost to make himself right. I'm like, you don't see yourself, man? I'm like, how do you, even when you're wrong, you'll make it so somebody else is wrong? I'm like, that's crazy.
I mean, it's the same mentality that this God made. I'm going to create good and I'm going to create evil, and it's the right thing to do. What? What? Wait a minute. You create good, and this good can't be depended upon entirely because it needs a dual component to give it its virtue. So evil, I'm going to create evil too, and it's all going to be for the good. How? Because of the necessary evil. Okay, I'll be that kind of evil. If I'm going to be any type of evil, I'm going to be a necessary evil, because that's a little bit more closer to goodness, to my understanding. Because this other goodness that a whole lot of people are propagating in all these religions, it's fake as hell.
Yeah.
Fake. I've got people out here telling me that I was made to give up everything in Las Vegas to come all the way out here to get my heart ripped out by Salam Yilma just so I can become a Jehovah's Witness. Do you think that I'm going to sit here and believe that bullshit?
Yeah. Jehovah, according to them, Jehovah can justify anything, can be justified with his God or whatever, to get you to believe in him.
Yeah. The whole thing is this. Any religion, because I used to hear Prince say this all the time. Prince used to almost say the truth, the truth. why do y'all say that you have the truth? I mean, of course, every religion out here asserts to contain the truth, but you don't never hear the Christians saying that I never hear the Christians saying the truth. I never hear the Muslims saying the truth without saying that they're a witness. The only people that I hear saying that once you accept the truth, the only people I hear talking like that are Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, when you have a group of people who put the definite article on their assertion of their containment of knowledge, when they put the definite article on there, they are pretty much saying we have the truth and all the other religions who assert the truth don't have it.
Yeah, they ain't no different than the Israelites. So right. That's another reason why. You remember how it was with them. They that's what they call it, being in the truth or whatever. Once they have that ideology, ain't nothing you can tell them Negroes.
And then when you tell them, isn't this a religion? And they say, yeah, but it's a way of life. I asked you a question. Isn't this a religious institution? And they say, yes. Well, the definition of religion is man's search for God or Jehovah or whatever. Hey, you know what? Whatever title you want to put on it. Man's search for God, man's search for Jehovah, man's search for Allah, man's search for Yahweh. Whatever the fuck title you want to put on it. That is the definition of religion, which implies none of you have found it. You're in search of it. You haven't found it. You only search for things you don't have. Right. And yet instead everybody says we have the truth. No, you don't. Because right there in your book, right there in your Bible tells you that you don't have the truth. Right there in your religious book. And they say, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? It says right there. When he is come, the Spirit of truth, it will guide you into all truth. That's right there. It didn't say a religion is going to guide you into all truth. He said the Spirit of truth. The Spirit of truth. The Spirit of truth. Not the religion that asserts the truth. It is a spirit of truth that will guide you into all truth. And we're not talking about a measurement of knowledge. We're not talking about that. They're not talking about that. You know, this is what he meant when he told Nicodemus, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. In other words, he can't see it, he can't understand, he can't perceive it unless you get rid of all of this garbage that you've accumulated, all of this knowledge, this contradictive and incomplete knowledge. Because it's incomplete, because you're still searching for the truth. It means you don't have it. It implies the information that you have is incomplete. That's what it means. This is the reason why you're hypocrites. This is where the contradiction comes from. The contradiction comes from having a measurement of knowledge that is incomplete. And this is what he was trying to tell the church. You guys don't have it.
And, Malcolm, I think he started to figure that out, too. As he started to lead the Nation of Islam and started traveling, he started to see that Elijah Muhammad, his understanding of things wasn't as complete as he had been misled to believe.
Well, neither was Orthodox Islam.
Yeah, because I'm about to go into that, too, because the Arab Islam ain't either.
I mean, look at that ceremony. And I believe you and I talked about this numerous times. You go to Mecca. Everybody from Sunni, Nation of Islam, Sunni, Hanbali, Hanafi, all of these Muslims go there for an entire week. They shed all their titles and their sects, and they get together and they practice being one together. Muslims, we're just Muslims. I'm not Nation of Islam. I'm not Hanafi or Hanbali or anything. We're just a nation of Muslims. Yeah, for 1 week. You're practicing this. Practicing. Which implies you're being hypocritical. So when this week is all over, do you leave a nation of Muslims? No. You still leave fragmented. You still leave Nation of Islam, Hanafi, Hanbali, Sunni, and all of that. Big waste of time. Big waste of time. And so,
do you? There you go.
No. Go ahead.
I often say, not to get off topic, do you still talk to Richard? You ain't brought him up in a while.
No, I pretty much cut him off.
Okay.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because this goes in harmony with what I was going to talk about anyway, because I was getting ready to go into them.
Yeah, because when you started talking about Kingdom Hall and so it made me think about what you was telling me about 2 weeks ago. You was venting to me about how Richard, you don't really care for him anymore. But you saw his real intentions.
Right. And see, when I offered, to stay with him, which is something that he offered to me. He offered this to me. I didn't ask Richard to stay with him. So what's wrong with a man honestly expressing the way he feels about something? Isn't this what you so-called lovers of the truth want? Or do you want me to be real commercial like y'all talk at the Kingdom Hall? How are you? They get up there and they read their little speeches. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, this shit is so fake. Sounds like a commercial. Blah, 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 blah. And then after they speak, then the elders give a judgment on how they speak and how they move their hands, gestures. I'm like, oh, hell no. Ain't nobody going to pass judgment on the way I speak. Ain't nobody going to pass judgment on the way I dress. Ain't nobody going to pass judgment on the way, how intense I speak. Because I told Richard and them, I said, the way that I speak, I said, y'all can pretty much compare me to Farrakhan. Because I speak very strongly. Certain points, I start speaking real strongly. And I'm not going to be up there feeling like I have to hold back because I don't want anyone to think I'm... No. Not me. Not me. And even that is against Scripture. Writing down your speeches, preparing your speech. Don't your book say, think not what you are going to say, for it is not you that speak, but your Father that speaketh through you? So what you're doing is against Scripture, and therefore it's institutional and not spiritual. And see, I'm not stupid. And this is what I was trying to tell this other brother who, the one who cut my hair. He feels, Brother Dorothy feels like he's got to explain things to me. Brother Dorothy, I don't need you to explain anything to me. But what he meant by don't tell me what nobody meant, because I know exactly what he meant. And simply because I'm observing the Kingdom Hall don't mean I haven't studied. And it doesn't mean that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. And it doesn't mean that anything I say that goes against the way that y'all have been taught to understand it in a certain context, it doesn't mean that anything and everything that I say is wrong. And I'm not going to be around people like that.
Right.
Because I'm not a puppet. All right? Because you niggas haven't even been out of the neighborhoods. All right, I've been way overseas and stuff. I know things about y'all Bible that you haven't even experienced. That's why I don't even waste my time, because nobody's going to force me to do nothing. I don't care what it is. You can get mad. You can do whatever you want to do, Jack. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want, even if it's nothing at all. So ever since I didn't hear back from him, I'm like, okay, to hell with you, because I see you now. So not to be sounding all crazy, but I wouldn't be surprised if him and Salam has been seeing each other, like I was telling you last time. But like I told you last time, she was sitting up in his living room when he was living with his wife, and when his wife rolled up, he had to run Salam out the back of their condominium. You weren't supposed to have been having this hoe sitting up in your living room any damn way. What the hell is she doing sitting in your living room?
Right.
So now that he's got his own place and she's still calling Richard, what's stopping you from fucking her now? And he was telling me that when he talked to his wife after him and his wife had separated, she had told him she felt as though she could breathe after he moved out. Because he said, well, why did you feel like that? She said, well, the reason why I feel like that is because I can't be the woman that you expect me to be based upon being a Jehovah's Witness. So this goes back to expectations that they impose on people. Even if they don't verbalize it all the time, they'll throw little subliminal things out there, because I know that about it. Well, babe, I'm gonna go down here to this Kingdom Hall. You going with me? No, I'll pass. I'm gonna go do this. Oh, okay. Well, I'll talk to you later. You come around. See, expectations. And so when a person is very comfortable with who they are and what they are, they don't feel really comfortable around people who are into something else that expects them to eventually give into it, because that's an expectation.
Yes, manipulation.
Yeah, you want them to come out of where they are at peace with themselves and into something that they know, they feel and know that's not going to give them peace, because they're not doing it for themselves. They're doing it in order to please you. And so she couldn't take it no more. You know what I'm saying? She couldn't take it no more. So that was her primary reason of telling him, because this is what he told me. This was her primary reason of telling him she couldn't do it no more. She feels like we need to separate so I can get to know myself. I need me some me time. See, this is someone who has someone around them throwing up, this aura and this environment of expectations, which has this, they create this environment of expectations, and within that environment there's a euphoria that is created, and that euphoria is pressure, and they expect you to involve yourself in this, and if you don't involve yourself in this, then we're going to act funny towards you. That's because you niggas ain't spiritual. You're actually a cult.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you ain't brother no more. Now you're a friend. You see? You see what you're involved in? Is that how Jesus felt when he went and he sat with Matthew and all of those people? He didn't say, my Father. He said, our Father, which art in heaven. So that goes all the way back to the forgiveness thing. And the reason why I say that is because people with that type of narcissistic mentality, because those people are narcissists too, because they say we have the truth. That's narcissism. Now, if people in whom they associate themselves with part-time don't meet their particular expectations, then they limit you and they cut you off. And when Sunday comes, they get real quiet because that's meeting time. Tuesdays, folks get real quiet because they're in their meeting. And you're supposed to be into this for yourself. Why the hell are you worried about me? So you're going to lower your communication? See, this is why I can't fuck with y'all. Because you people are hypocrites. Right. You know what I'm saying? I can't mess with y'all. Because should it matter? You're in this for yourself. You're not in this for other people. You're not supposed to be worried about other people. Because when you stand before the Creator, it's going to be you and the Creator. It's not going to be when we stand before the Creator. No, when you stand before the Creator, you and the Creator alone. I'm not going to be standing next to you and you're going to be pointing your twiddling your thumb at me or pointing at me. Well, David didn't do this. David didn't do that. God, Jehovah, Allah, whoever, whatever is going to say, we ain't talking about him right now. We're talking about you.
Right.
See, that's your problem. Y'all so worried about what everybody else is doing, you don't realize what you're doing to those people. When you call yourself concerned about these people, you are actually condemning and judging these people. You're slandering these people. You're judging them. You're condemning them. And in the process of doing that, what are you doing to yourself in my eye? They're not looking at that. They steady staring at you. They steady looking at you. And no matter what comes out of your mouth, no, it's not this. It's that. No. It doesn't mean
no matter what you say is wrong with them.
Yeah. Because they have, quote unquote, the truth. So in time, when they finally can tell that you are not going to join, all of a sudden the phone calls stop. Nobody's calling to check up on you no more. Charles, the older guy who in fact helped me stay out here, gave me a winter coat and everything. Haven't heard from him because he says I have an attitude. Well, excuse me for being upset, for getting my heart ripped out and being judged and condemned all the damn time. Excuse me for being an introvert who find it very uncomfortable to live with a bunch of crackheads. Excuse me for that.
Crackheads.
So you mean to tell me with all of your truth, you can't understand why I'm upset? This is why I can't hang out with y'all. Because because you people are full of shit. You are full of shit. So when they conclude that, well, he's not going to join the Kingdom Hall, ain't no need of me calling him no more. Okay, now you're a cult. Because what actually makes you a witness is a person who accepts the fact that this person is not going to be with us as far as the institution is concerned, but I'm still going to show him love and compassion. You want to know why? Because I am a Jehovah's Witness. Now, if you are indeed a Jehovah's Witness, it shouldn't matter if this person is in your institution or not. And see, they don't understand. I'm studying them. Does it matter if I show interest? Because due to the fact that I'm not showing interest in the common way that I'm showing interest, don't think for 1 second I'm not studying you, because I am. I'm studying you. and I decide if I'm going to join. And I decide if I'm going to join by way of studying you as an example. And I concluded that I'm not joining because I don't see no examples according to the assertion of their institution of being a witness of Jehovah. I don't see it. The same way the Christian says that a Christian means Christ-like. You are not a reflection of Christ. Christ-like is not a definition. Christ-like is a state of being, a reflection of righteousness. No, you are not that. Muslim means one who submits to do the will of Allah. That's a contradiction, because if you have to submit to it, then you are not willingly doing the will of Allah, because you are going through a process of submission, and a submission is conflict. I'm submitting to do what? Your love and your will should be one with Allah. It shouldn't be a submission, period. But thinking human beings are, you're not supposed to rely on your own understanding. Okay.
Yeah, just be a slave and don't have no mind of your own.
Yeah, just believe anything and everything you hear. Simply because somebody says it's holy, you just supposed to accept it as the truth. When, like, it goes back to saying, religion's definition implies man's search for truth. And man is never going to find truth if he already thinks he knows what truth is. And the reason why I say that, because if he thinks he already knows what truth is, then he's looking for a measurement of information that's going to convince him that this is the truth. The truth is a living, moving presence. It's not anything stagnant like they're searching for, and yet still they claim they contain it. I mean, they are totally confused. But then when you try to explain things to them, they talk over you like, "Fuck you. You listen to me."
Yep.
So it's like when you try to explain yourself, you say 2 or 3 words and they talking. And you like, are you going to let me finish my point? No, they're not going to let you finish their point because they have the truth. And that's when you're dealing with a congregation of narcissists. How can you say you serving Jehovah when everybody in this motherfucker think they are Jehovah?
You're right.
That's exactly how they are. Yeah, you in here serving yourselves. You want to know why you're serving yourselves? Because when you go up there and speak, you're concerned about how everybody else is going to judge your speaking and all that. You're serving yourselves. If you up there speaking for Jehovah, I don't give a damn how you take the way I speak. I ain't up here for you. I mean, this is what I was telling Richard. I said, this is why I can't be a part of this. It's too structured. It's too controlled. We need to get you in these study classes. Dude, who the hell you think you're talking to? I'm 56 years old. I've been overseas. I done studied all my life. But then when you talk like that, he thinks he know everything. You want to know something? You people are hopeless. Hopeless. Most of them have never even been, most of them haven't even been out of America.
Sure, a lot of them haven't even been out of their state.
Yeah, you right over here, you never even went outside of Babylon. And you think Babylon then gave you the truth? So, it all goes back to this forgiveness thing. It's like homeboy said, how about saying you done me wrong? How about that?
But they can't do that because they don't never think they doing wrong. They think that according to them, they think they're doing right. Just like most people who do a lot of evil, whether it was Hitler or any other tyrant, they generally think that they're doing good. Because rarely do you find a person who thinks they're doing evil. Because most people, they think they're doing evil, they won't do it. Well, but if they think they're doing good, they can deceive themselves to think they're doing what's right according to their own heart. They'll do it. No matter how it affects other people.
The reason why Hitler felt like he was doing the right thing is because of the environment that the Jews created in Germany.
Yeah. I know. You studied Hitler's Germany. They was pornography and a whole bunch of other things that they want the masses of. And a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, and see, you couldn't tell him anything different. But somebody like my dad. This is why I always used to tell my mother and Graham, and I always say this, and I bring this up in comparison, because see, Hitler had he had an excuse for his thinking, because he saw his parents affected by the environment. Now here I am. I'm a young black man, come up in Chicago, Illinois, on the south side, okay? Like I always say, didn't smoke, didn't drink, didn't do drugs, didn't sleep around, didn't have babies. I didn't do anything. Didn't do nothing at all. I was the ideal son. I was the ideal brother. I was the ideal nephew. I was the ideal everything. What the hell did I do wrong? Now, due to the fact that I didn't do anything wrong, one who is the narcissist, who is so into righteousness, should have showed me all the respect. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, instead, this narcissist son of a bitch, they loved my sister, who was doing everything up under the sun. She didn't have a problem. But I didn't do anything up under the sun, and I was the one who was treated like I was the devil. So when it's like that, the only way that I can forgive you, you have to apologize to me.
See, and people don't understand that apologize, the name of words, is they're going to be apologizing for the rest of their life.
Well, the whole thing is this. We have to go through the resolve period. Tell me why you treated me this way when I had not done anything to violate morally being a son in regards to you being a parent. What did I do? Was you complaining about bad grades? Was I out gangbanging? Was I beating up teachers? Was I abusing girls? Did you have to come and sign any papers for me being in detention? Did you have to get me out of juvenile? Did you have to get me out of jail? Did I shame you by robbing people and going to prison? What did I do to you? What did I do? I didn't do anything. And then as a 56-year-old man, you tell people out here you didn't do anything. And so they looking at you as a black man. Okay? And you got your own people looking at you. You 56 years old, I know that nigga done did something. I know, so you mean to tell me you didn't do anything to bring that on yourself? Yes, I'm telling you I didn't do anything. Well, I don't believe you. Well, who the hell are you that I should care if you believe me or not? You asked me a question, what did I do? I told you nothing. That's what I told you. Now, whether you believe that or not, that's your business. But you don't know what I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with a narcissist. So no matter if they have an excuse or not, they feel that they can treat you and talk to you any way they want to. And they don't have to apologize. The same as it says, I giveth and I take it. I give you, I'll bless you with a family, and I'll take your family away from you. You want to know what? Because I'm God. And that's all I have to say. I am the great that I am. And I'm supposed to love you anyway? To hell with that. You've got human beings walking the planet with that mentality right now. That's just like Salam, right down the street. She did anything and everything to me. I didn't even get an affection. I'm not saying sex is everything, but we was supposed to have been a couple. I didn't get nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing from her. And I lost everything. She didn't lose anything. Tried to starve me. Tried to freeze me to death. Told her sister that I want to put him down in that room because that room was like a grave. Because it's real dark down there and it's real cold like a grave. What the hell did I do to you? Other than just give up everything and came out here. What did I do to you? Nothing.
Right.
A big nothing again. But that's when you're dealing with a narcissist. And the reason why I say all of that is because if you talk to Salam today, and if you ask her, what did David do? The only thing she can do is that black conscious bullshit. It was his energy. That's why I despise the word energy now. I even hate saying the word energy. I've noticed with myself, even when I have conversations with people, when I'm going through a sentence and when that energy, and when that word is available to be used, I try to think around it and use a word in reference or similar to it. Because I don't like using the word energy, because people feel as though if I say energy, it's something that I'm asserting that only I see and I feel. And then that has them saying, what do you mean my energy? And that puts the people who are being accused in the position of having negative energy. That puts them like, what am I doing? See, to them, they're fine. They're not doing anything wrong. But people who are asserting that they hold this negative energy and these old things, see, they're saying that, it's your energy. And then when you say, well, what do you mean my energy? It's just your energy. It's just my energy, right? Sound like a person that's lying to me. You're throwing all this madness out there, but you can't explain it. You can't pinpoint anything. You want to know why? Because I'm not doing nothing to you. So it goes back to what I was saying earlier when I said people get upset when they can't point to anything that you're doing. It makes them angry, and then they wonder why you're so reclusive and so introverted and so distant. And you cut your conversations very short because it seems like you just talk about the smallest things and people want to go back and forth, and then next thing you know, it cultivates into a debate. I ain't got time for that.
Right.
I just said this and that. Okay, bye. I'm going upstairs. I'm going in the next room. I'm going to go take a walk.
You sound like me around here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm extremely reclusive or whatever, and I know that annoys them. Because I probably talk to you more and more on the phone in 1 month than I have with them in 10 years.
Mm-hmm. And so that's why I won't say I cut him off. He actually cut himself off. But I don't really see no point answering my phone because I'm going to be leaving in August anyway, so I don't care. It's really not important for me to build relationships out here, because once I get on that plane and I'm gone, I'm not looking back. The only people that I'm really going to be staying in touch with are the few young people who I've become, I would say, close to at my job, and that's this girl who I call my daughter, Kim, Ebony, and Ebony's kid's father, Derek. That's it. It's just those three. I'm only going to stay in touch with them, just those three people. Now, this brother who cut my hair, Brother Dorsey, he was telling me if you look on that video description, the one when I said Goodbye Georgia, he he wrote something under there. He said, "I'll see you when I get to Vegas." I thought you was a witness. What's attracting you to Las Vegas? I used to always ask the Christians that. Why do the followers of Christ decide to take a vacation at a place called Sin City? If you guys are in fact the saints, why do you do that? It's crazy. That's just like the brother had said in that article. You can even sing it, talking about the forgiveness thing. Sing it. Do something. Not a narcissist.
No. And then, a lot of people, the way forgiveness is taught, to me, it's more focused on the person who's being wrong instead of the person doing it wrong, as if the person being wrong got to put the effort into actually, doing the act. It should be the person doing the evil that should be the main one putting towards the effort.
And then they want to say,
I'm like, man, to me, the way forgiveness is taught, it gives the person doing the wrong, it gives them license to do more wrong.
Yeah. And then they want to turn it into a contradiction. Well, I'm not forgiving them. I'm forgiving them for me because it gives me freedom. You know what? You religious hypocrites, y'all can twist it and make it mean whatever you want. You have to come to terms with what they did to you by way of resolve. It's the only way. And that's the only way that forgiveness is going to be for you. This is the reason why resolve is so important. Well, I forgive you because I got to have a peace of mind. You ain't got no peace of mind. That way you thinking is stupid. You sound like a moron. You are a moron. Okay? That's psychotherapy. You think I can't recognize psychotherapy? No, we have to talk about these things. This is what I was telling my aunt out here in reference to my dad. You just have to, number one, don't tell me what I have to do, okay? Don't tell me what I have to do, okay? Now, go ahead and say what you're going to say. Well, you just have to move on. See, there go that word again, have to. Okay, I will accept have to in my own context because of who I'm dealing with. I don't have no choice but to move on because the man is a bastard. How about that?
Right.
And as long as he's alive, physically alive, he's going to be a burden to me because his very life presence, his life force is a burden on me because of who and what he is. His life force is a burden on me.
You be like, why don't you just die?
Why don't you just die? You ain't serving no purpose. You're not going to have a relationship with my children because I'm not going to allow it and I'm not going to encourage it. And Tammy knows what I would do to her if she encourages it, so she don't encourage it. Because she knows I can talk to David about pretty much anything and he won't explode. But when it comes to his daddy, oh, no. I don't go there. I don't go there at all. When it comes to his father, don't deal with him with his father because he knows his father better than you. So you can't come to him with this, well, you have to be this, you got to forgive him because that is your dad. Because, see, David will jump on you and kick your ass. It's not that simple. Because if you were to feel the way that he made me feel, and if you would have heard some of the things he said, this, to me, this man accused me of wanting to sleep with my own sister. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can't go back after that.
And after you've been on the street suffering, whatever he did, I bet you he won't do it no more. The fuck you mean whatever he did? Which means he didn't know what happened out there. But I bet you he won't do it no more. You're not making no sense. So you don't know what he did, but you are saying it's good that he was thrown in the street anyway, and he won't do it no more. Well, what did he do? They didn't tell me what he did. But then you couldn't just say nothing. See, all of that comes from a hatred. Whatever he did, I bet you he won't do it no more. Okay, now, aren't you concerned about if these words get back to him? I mean, because considering the way that you treated him all of his life, what makes you think after so many years your doorbell may ring and you will get totally self-manipulated when you look outside and you haven't seen your son in 20, 30 years and you so happy to see him and you forgot all about what you said, and then you opening up the door saying, hey, next thing you know, he filling your ass up with lead because of some bullshit that you said. You know what type of son you got. David will fly to the moon to get your ass if I have to. Because of what come out of your mouth. If you don't know what happened, and if you asking somebody what happened, well, what did he do? And if their explanation still doesn't give you anything that he did to deserve it, then why are you? And see, that makes you say whatever he did, I bet you he won't do it no more. So basically, when he asked them, what did David do to deserve that? They couldn't tell him anything. But he still came back and said those words. So by me being an intellectual man, I'm going to ask you, why would you say something like that? See, me, I don't look past things like that. And then when I bring that up to people, you just got to look past. No, I ain't looking past shit.
Yeah, because looking past stuff, like you always say, compromise death. You look past too much stuff, man. That'll give a person leeway to do whatever and say whatever they want. That's what people do.
The whole thing is, the way that I suffered out there being homeless, unprovoked, I ain't looking past those words because I didn't do anything wrong. So I'm going to ask him, why would you say something like that? This is why I said we have to have resolve. You know, and when he was in Las Vegas, he didn't want to talk about nothing. Well, that's the past. We just gonna look past that. No, you. I'm not looking past a goddamn thing. I haven't seen you in 32 years. Now I've got you sitting right here in front of my face, and you in the flesh, thinking that I'm supposed to be so overwhelmed in seeing you after 32 years that my mind just totally forgot about why the hell you treated me like shit all my life? Yeah. I haven't seen you in 32 years, but sit down, fool. I need to talk to you. Okay? Because David don't give a fuck about how long it has been since I haven't seen you. I don't care nothing about that. Why did you do what you did? Because now you out here around my sons. Okay? And I wanted to kill you in Chicago behind me. So now you out here around my sons, which are my light. So to me, you could be dangerous. So let's get past this. Because if you say something wrong to my sons, oh man, I'm gonna kill you, daddy or not. I don't care. I don't discriminate. This is what Graham was telling them. This is what Graham was telling my mother. This boy does not discriminate. He don't care who you are. But like we always say, these parents feel like they can just treat you and just talk to you any way they want to because they the parent. But they book says, provoke not your child, to wrath. That's a commandment. And a warning at the same time. But tell you the truth, when people decide to just let go and move on, that's sufficient for them. Instead of keep going back and forth and carrying this load of I have to forgive them. You ain't got to do a damn thing.
Yeah, and that's why them articles or whatever, I'm like, man, to hell with how we've been taught as forgiveness. Some people sign some things you just can't forgive. You just move forward, and just like you just learn to not have to deal with them type of people again if you can avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say Christianity is really messed. Not I ain't gonna even say just black folk. It has messed the whole world up. That whole concept of forgiveness has really caused people to be passive towards their oppression
and liars.
Yeah, people who deceive themselves. It ain't no different than people saying, "Well, I forgive you I love you from a distance. Or I forgive you from a distance." To me, that ain't. We talked about this many times before. That ain't forgiveness either. If you think about it, you still holding that person accountable. For the wrong they've done. So it's like, to me, that's space too.
I mean, that's just like this picture that they have up here when the man has got his son by the face and he's showing him love and compassion. It looks like in the picture he's apologizing to him for something, and that's the only way this child's going to be able to forgive. It's the only way. I'm sorry for what I did. That's like my grandfather used to make us verbalize our wrongdoing. You do something wrong, right? My granddad used to come up to you, say, "What did you do?" "What I did was wrong." "Tell me what you did that was so wrong." "Well, I did this and that and that." "Okay. Do you understand that what you did was wrong?" "Yes." "Okay." You have to acknowledge that what you did was wrong, so that we can move forward. You can't just say, "Don't do that again." I might be getting kind of off contact because my mind is all over the place right now. But the whole thing is, like we always say, you have to talk things out. And like I say, my whole thing was I didn't do anything. So why would I say it like this? And that's why on his deathbed, once my aunt, who was out here, which I'm pretty certain I probably won't even be out here, and I'm also not going to call her and tell her when I'm leaving. No.
Other than that one time you hung out with her, you ain't really said that you hung out with her ever since.
No.
As far as I know.
Because she keeps bringing the issue up with my father. But the night that I found out that Salam was out messing around on me, those 3 nights I was in the hospital, when I had talked to her about that, and she saw how very upset I was with that, she noticed that I wasn't just falling for her little Christian philosophy. And so she that was pretty much the last time her and I talked. And then she wanted to use the fact that she had got that plane ticket for me. And I tried to call my aunt, and I tried to send her a text 4 days before it was time for me to leave, and I told her, "Look, I just found this job. I just got this job at this moving company. So I'm going to be staying. I'm going to be trying to stay out here." I didn't get a text from her back, and I didn't get a phone call from her back. Yeah, I didn't hear from her after that. So she used that ticket thing. "Well, I'm very disappointed in you," and blah blah. Look, number one, I know you, my aunt. That's number one. All right. Number two, I don't even know you. You know, I barely know you. Okay? Now, I've been knowing my mother all my life. Ask her if I care if she's disappointed in me about anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, I barely know you. Do you think I really give a damn if you're disappointed in me? I'm a human being. I've been in the hospital for 3 days. And somebody who I gave up everything for, I'm laying up in the hospital, and this little Ethiopian hoe is going out screwing people at night while I'm laying up in the hospital. Do you know what that reminds me of? My motorcycle accident. I'm laying up in the hospital fighting for my life, and what did Sandra do? She spent one night with me, go home, move out. I'm laying up in the hospital fighting for my life by myself. No cell phone, no nothing. Do you think Sandra called Tammy to tell Tammy, David's in the hospital? Nope, she didn't care. Tammy and them did not know, Josh, that I was in the hospital until 8 days. I spent 5 days in Sunrise Hospital, and then they sent me to this physical rehab place. Tammy didn't know that I was in that place until 2 days after I was there. She didn't know what happened to me. She would have known had Sandra just told her. I mean, even if you leave and tell somebody. So when that happened to me with Salam, that's the same. I was like, damn, just like Sandra. And so I get upset about that because I'm a human being. And simply because I'm not listening to some Christian-related bullshit because I'm upset and this is a real deal type situation. She gets upset because I'm not trying to hear no spiritual stuff right now. I'm in a real bad situation that I need to get out of, Auntie. Can you come get me out of this situation? No, she left me there. I shouldn't have had to go stay over there with Kathy and them to be around all that reefer and a crack-ass crackhead. I shouldn't have to. I should have been able to call my aunt. Look, this situation over here with Salam, I need to get out of it. You know where I'm at. You came to pick me up. We went to lunch. Auntie, she should have said, David, what I need you to do is calm down, pack your stuff. I'm on my way to come get you. Not calm down. You don't let it bother you, and just calm down. Okay, and then what? I'm out here, what am I supposed to do now? This bitch is fucking people right in front of my face. Okay? She's going out every night screwing people. I'm finding out this woman is a trick. I'm finding out that these so-called male friends are nothing but clientele. These are people who she sleep with to get a little extra money for little favors and stuff like that. I'm finding out that this Mr. John Crutcher person that she was telling me in Las Vegas that she despised, I'm finding out she was sleeping with this old man too. But I'm supposed to just be cool. Just don't worry about it. So you can't come and just get me out of this situation? I tell you what. Fuck you. How about that? So when I leave Atlanta, what the hell I'm going to call you for? Talking about, Auntie, I'm getting ready to leave Atlanta. I want to see you before I leave. See your ass for what? What for? I mean, let's just be real with it. I'm a realist. I don't see no purpose. So, like I say, man, when I leave here, I'm not looking back.
Right.
I ain't got time for this. I ain't never in my life met so many fake ass people in my life until I moved out here. And the problem with Atlanta is there's too many niggas out here. I'm just being real. Now I know people who hear this, they're gonna go, "Oh, you calling us niggas?" Yeah, I'm calling you niggas because I know the distinction between black people and niggas, like Chris Rock said, and I knew it. I knew the distinction before Chris Rock had revealed it. You know, and then when you are a young man who come up on the higher middle class side of Chicago in a area of the South Side called Chatham Village, where there's blacks, Italians, whites, and Indians, and then your family is very racially diverse. Most of your friends are mixed, and then from there you go to Indianapolis, the Job Corps. Everything up there is diverse, even though it's predominantly, you know, black folks. But then you go to Las Vegas, where everything is diverse. I mean, and then you spend 32 years in Las Vegas in a diverse environment. And then you come here and everything's black. Black and broke. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so you spend a whole year learning about a predominantly black society. You will find that the economy is extremely weak, and these Negroes out here are too stupid to know it. You want to know why? Well, I won't call them stupid. They are too ignorant to know it. And I mean ignorant in the sense to where they just don't know any better.
Right.
Because they come up in an environment where it's been conditioned in a certain way to where they actually think this is the way life is.
Yeah, they think it's normal.
Yeah. And so when you are a person who was fortunate to go to another type of environment like Las Vegas, where it's very diverse, it has a union, and you're going to have high wages. You want to know why the wages are going to be high? Because it's diverse. You got white folks, you got Irish, you've got Hispanics, you've got Italians, and wherever some white folks is going to be, they going to see to it that you pay me. So white people are going to demand a union so that they can get higher wages. But any city that is predominantly black, ain't no money. Ain't no money going to be there. Because all of these Negroes are going to do is complain and march. Well, what are you going to do for high wages? We're going to march down the street. And we're going to hold a sign. We're going to demand high wages. You ain't demanding nothing walking down the street holding up a sign. Because the parade has a beginning and an end. Those crackers are just going to say, let the niggas march. It'll be over soon. And after the parade is over, then we won't change anything. They want a union. Who cares what these niggas out here want? We don't want to give them a union, and they're not going to do anything because Negroes are afraid. They settle for anything and everything out here, and that's one of the primary reasons why the economic system out here is so limited and weak, because they don't demand anything. They just accept every damn thing. They don't demand anything.
Yeah, slave mentality.
Mm-hmm. So, I can't be here. I got $50,000 waiting for me in Las Vegas when I'm 59 years old. I just have to go back and invest more money, invest more time in that retirement plan by working in their system. so I can expand that pension. That's all, because they have a union out there, and the union puts money away for you. Out here, nothing. They give you an option. You can get it out at 59, or you can work all the way until you're 65 or even more. And after 65, if you choose you just want to quit, just let us know. I want to retire. Okay, well, just sign these papers. We give you your money. You're going about your business. But you're going to have to sign out of the union because you're not going to be in the workforce no more. Here's your money. Have a good time. It's that simple. Out here, nothing. But we got a lot of retirement homes down here. And we're going to treat your retirement the same way we treat the way that we fund our military. Provide for the common defense and promote the general welfare. How are you going to do that? How do you provide for the common defense? What is the common defense? The military. And you provide for the common defense, which is the military. What does that do? Oh, well, that promotes the general welfare of our country. Where's this money coming from? Your tax money. So in comparison to that, the time that you put in out here in this little weak economic system, they got a lot of retirement homes down here. So that when you get your Social Security check after you quote unquote retire, they're going to stick your black ass up in one of these little retirement homes in little 1-bedroom apartment. And they're going to take your little Social Security check, which is you ain't never going to see it. It's going to go straight to the institution that's giving you shelter. And they're going to make it possible for you to eat. So they're going to allow you to extract food stamps from the state of Georgia just so you can eat. And you're going to sit in that little 1-bedroom apartment for the rest of your day. Well, I retired. I'm just sitting up in here, the state of Georgia is using my Social Security, to pay my rent. Yeah, but you're sitting up in this 1-bedroom apartment. This is really a grave, fool. What did you do all your life? Well, I worked at Popeyes. I worked at Target. I worked at Burger King or McDonald's. I was a manager at McDonald's all my life. Really? Yeah, I worked at Walmart. I worked at Lowe's and all of that. But did you have a union? No, we didn't have a union. Damn, you spent your whole life working for an institution that didn't have a union to put together a pension for you? What are you going to do? All the time that you put in to this little weak system out here, that's going toward your Social Security. In Las Vegas, you have a pension and you get your Social Security. They can't deny you your Social Security because that's government. That's federal. So you get $50,000 plus all the time that you put into the system out there. You'll probably get you like another $1,000 to $1,500 a month in your Social Security. So why the hell would I stay out here? Up on top of getting revenue for my books or whatever else I choose to do. I'd be an idiot to stay out here. I had a lot of time to think about this. If you stay out here in Georgia by way of their economic system, it's like having one foot in the grave. Even in your 20s. It's not worth it. So what else did you want to go over in regards to this forgiveness thing? Was it anything else in there that pretty much caught your attention?
I think we covered everything. Because the main thing I just wanted to talk, well, one of the main points that we did cover was part about when I was saying how the way forgiveness is taught, it puts more effort on the person who's being wrong than the person who's doing the wrong. And I'm glad that we covered that. So I think we good for tonight.
But you want to know something? Speaking on that again, in reference to them, a lot of people like my dad and your dad and people outside of them, due to the fact that they know that people are victimized by this whole forgiveness principle, to them, due to the fact that they know that they've hurt others, that puts them in a position of choice, and therefore a position of power, because they know that these people need forgiveness from them. And so to them, that puts them in power. I don't have to talk about nothing. You know? I don't have to, what you mean? You know, talk about stuff. What you mean? Forgive me for what? See, when it's like that, you just let them fools go. I'll just let you go, dude. I ain't got time for you.
Right.
And due to the fact that I've let you go, it means that I don't have any desire to continue any type of communication with you, because you are hopeless. Therefore, you're dead. So why don't you just go on and die? Just go on.
Yeah, they're down.
Go ahead.
And all thing that's left is for them to die, like, and put them in the grave.
That's it.
There ain't no salvation for people like that.
And that's why my mother and them don't understand when I tell them, when he died, what the hell I'm going to go to his funeral for? That motherfucker's been dead most of my life. Say goodbye? That fool didn't allow me to say hello. So to hell with him. So his very existence, due to the fact that y'all always bringing him up. And I can feel his life force over me all the time, demanding, you know, I hear from Terrell all the time. You know, I don't ever hear from you. Terrell is in jail, nigga. That dude is willing to hear anybody's voice outside of that prison.
Terrell must be your young brother.
Yeah, that's the one that's 6 months younger than me.
Like, oh, okay, you ain't never really, in all the time, never really heard you bring him up about, you know, it's always you and BB.
Well, you know, I don't really know that much about Terrell.
Oh, y'all didn't grow up together?
No. And, you know, I didn't meet Terrell until I was 21.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, I heard about Terrell. You know, he brought Terrell upstairs to my sister's apartment one time. And Terrell was standing there. I was looking at him, you know, noticed he looked like him. He said, my dad said, "Where's Becky?" I'm like, I don't know. She went somewhere. Then he said, "By the way, this is your brother." I said, "What's up?" He said, "What's up, man?" He said, "Okay, well, tell Becky we'll be back." I'm like, all right, that was it. Check that out. By the way, this is your brother. That's almost like Terrell's mama saying, by the way, I'm pregnant. By the way, this is my brother. This is the only way that you can introduce me to the object of your infidelity against my mother. By the way, this is your brother. No, you came up here looking for BB. So you couldn't call upstairs or knock on the door and ask Terrell to hold on for a minute. Let me go in here and talk to him for a minute. Pull me to the side. Look, you know you have a stepbrother, right? Yeah, his name is Terrell. He's standing right outside. I would like to introduce you to him. He's your brother. Unfortunately, you know, the way this happened, blah, 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 blah. Can you do it like that? So that when Terrell comes in, you know, David, this is your brother Terrell. Shook his hand. How you doing? I'm your brother David. The way you got here is not your fault and it's not my fault. but we're brothers. Nah, he came up there looking for my sister. And then not too long ago, after BB started getting to know him, she ended up fucking him.
Dang. Wait a minute. You saying your sister screwed your brother?
Yeah. In an orgy. Dang, in an orgy that they had right in front of both of my nephews. This happened right in the apartment, right above his church. And then when word got out by way of one of my nephews, when it got to my mother, BB wanted to switch it and say that Terrell had forced himself on her. Doesn't matter. You walking around butt naked around your stepbrother. Your siblings are not supposed to know how you look butt naked as a woman. They ain't supposed to know how you look. But simply because that was her stepbrother. You know, I mean, she used to live and I don't know if she still lives that way, but she lived a very filthy, disgraceful lifestyle. But was anything ever said about it? Nope. What did I do? You ever heard about me sleeping around in Chicago? Mm-mm. Did I have babies all over Chicago? No. Was I in and out of jail? Nope. What did I do? But who was treated like I committed the biggest abominations against God? Me? I was treated like that. So why was I treated like that? And so when you're treated like that and you ask questions and they can't give you an answer because you didn't do anything, and yet they still refuse to apologize for what they did and what they said to you, fuck them. Leave them alone. Leave them be and just move forward, because you really don't have a choice. You know, because if you continue to carry that stuff inside you all the time by being cursed with this whole concept of forgiving. I want to forgive him, but I can't. We need to talk about it, you know, so I can be set free. You're giving them the power to enslave you or set you free. They don't have the power. What makes you think that they have that power is you're caught up in the concept of forgiveness. The only thing you have to do is look at the situation for what it is. See that they are narcissists. See that they are jackasses, son of a bitches, or whatever the hell that they are. And if you conclude that these people are evil and they are not willing to reason their way through this for the sake of resolve, so that we can see eye to eye, if they're not willing to do that, what are you going to do? You're going to hold on to that piece of hot coal and let it keep burning your hand, or are you just going to let it go and just move on?
Right.
You need to let it go and move on. Free yourself from it. And you do have the power to free yourself. If the Creator said, humble thyself, that's another concept of freedom. You can humble yourself by getting away from people who disturb you. You can do that yourself. You don't need them. Because I'm right next door to Salon. When I was coming home from work the other night, I felt this burning desire in me to go down there and knock on her door and just beat her ass up.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
No. This happened just a couple of nights ago.
Oh, okay. So this is a more recent feeling.
Yeah, and I'm walking. Felt this burning desire. I was like, okay, why is it burning? Why is this burning desire? Why is it burning now? Is it me? Or is this, there's a presence inside of me that knows that I done got over this, and so it's angry, so it's trying to Go down here. That's where the burning comes from. Go on down there. It ain't gonna take you nothing but a few minutes. Just walk down there and see what's going on. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no, I have a choice. I'm going in here. I'm gonna lay down. See, when you know you have a choice, you know you have power. You're not confused about anything because you're no longer choosing. You know, that presence comes to try to confuse you. Go down there. No, I'm going to stay here. No, go on. No. You ain't confused. You know you done let that go. Go on in there and lay down, man. You ain't got time for that. The only thing you have your mind on is get yourself together, get on that plane, get back to your son. That's all that matters. That's really all that matters. Because when you leave here, you're not looking back.
Nope, never again.
You're not going to look back. You and your loved one is going to leave, and you're not going to look back. You're going to move forward from there. You're going to get back home where everything makes sense and where everything is beneficial with a fresh mind and spirit, and you're going to move forward. Whatever was plaguing you at first, you found out that those things were nothing to worry about, because the only thing you got to do is be responsible and just do whatever you have to do, and don't even have that mind no more. Oh, these Mexicans are taking over. Oh, I know if I see a Mexican down there, I know it's over. Nah, bro, you in a whole nother mind now, and that's exactly the type of spirit that's going to be emanating from you. And believe me, it's going to be much easier for you to walk into some work out there, because that's just going to be your aura, bro. They're going to love you to death when they see you.
Right.
Number one, you look much better because your skin's looking good. You know, your weight is where it's supposed to be. Man, I'm 170 pounds right now. Walking around here looking like Rocky from Rocky 3. Man, you would be shocked. Cut up. I got definition everywhere, Josh. I'm built up better than some of these teenagers running around out here now. Looking good. Looking real good. And it's a trip because I'm looking the same way that I looked when I went to Las Vegas 32 years ago. So I'm going back looking the very same way with just a few gray hairs.
Right.
A fresh mind and a fresh spirit. But this time, this fresh mind and this fresh spirit will never be contaminated ever again. So therefore, out here, all of this was nothing but a purification period, and a whole lot of the bad habits that I had inside, you know, as far as me feeling as though I had to be a part of the norm as far as what my life needed. I don't even think that way no more. I gotta be married. I gotta have a woman and all. Man, don't even worry about that. If that comes, it comes. If it doesn't, hey. But one thing is for sure, you got books to write, you've got sons to love, and you've got responsibilities. And that's it. It's that simple. It's not complicated. And it took you to be crushed. So now you see things clearly now. Yep. That's what it's all about, bro.